episode 16. Thank you all for listening to episode 15, Rocket Man. I am Gary, and here with co-host
Rocket Ishmael. Oh, no, Bear. Sorry, I got confused.
And
Rocket.
Yeah, Brandon.
Thanks to Wes Anderson for Moments in Time. Check him out on Facebook, Wes Anderson Music. Give him a follow on Twitter, @SongsByWes. Thank you to All Wear Clothing, the official merchandise provider for Over the Line Sports Podcast. If you're interested in doing business with them, mention Over the Line Sports Podcast and the owner, Brandon. Not this jackass here.
Yeah, not me. Please don't call me.
We'll give you a great deal on your clothing needs. Thanks to Crandall's Quality Lawn Care. Check them out on Facebook at Crandall's Quality Lawn Care. You can also call them at 419-704-5471. They serve the Toledo and surrounding area. So everybody in, what do we have, Sweden, England, Ireland, California.
Anywhere that's not the surrounding area of beautiful Northwest Ohio.
Beautiful. Mention Over the Line Sports Podcast. Sean will give you a discount on services. Those leaves are falling. Make sure you give him that call. He'll help you out. Thank you to Verizon, who is a true technology business partner who helps local businesses deploy technologies that positively impact operations and can increase revenue for the company. At Verizon, we do not wait for the future. We build it. Go to their website, which Bear has put on Twitter. Get in touch with a sales rep in your area. Special thanks to Tim and Stephanie at Verizon for all of your support. So, the first thing, last week we talked a lot about what gimmicks would we be for Halloween. I completely overlooked one and was informed of one that I thought was just absolutely perfect based on all of us. Granted, one of these guys are dead, and he's going to be me. But too cool. Bear is Scotty Too Hottie. I am Brian Christopher, and Brandon is Rakishi. So
Shocking.
Thank you.
Shocking. My ass, though, is not that big.
I don't know, man. Your ass let out a pretty good fart last weekend.
That was not me. I'm telling you that we have a frog in here. He visits every once in a while.
You admitted to it.
It was early in the morning,
You
just like it
admitted
is
to
right
it.
now. You know, the frogs are out, the fog, you know. Hey,
Brandon,
you came in.
Brandon.
I don't know what you guys talking about.
When you drink that pumpkin spice coffee first thing in the morning, you know what happens when you get coffee through after some breakfast.
Well, I got
It
one
runs
right now,
through
and
you.
it's frickin'
Yeah, well, then I'm waiting for the that's going to happen at some point from you.
And if you listen to, it was actually Tuesday's episode, then you would have heard that Bear, by the way, if you had him in your pool, he was the first person to drop the F-bomb. He dropped it again. So he is...
You're welcome.
He is 2 in for the F-bomb. So, Brandon, congratulations to us for not dropping the F-bomb.
Yeah.
Cheers to you.
No problem.
HBK returned on Raw this week. Monday Night Raw was awesome. I saw that he was coming back, and they held it. I was like, good, they're going to hold it till after Main. And he came out, and I'm like waiting for, okay, here comes Taker or Kane. Of course, here comes Kane. He's waiting for him, turns around, there's Kane. Here comes Taker, and then, of course, sets up, here comes Triple H. And they set it up for what is going on today, which we do not know what's going on. It is, what, 5 or it might even be over by now. It's 5 or 6 hours deep. Have you guys looked at what's going on?
No.
Before we give our picks? Okay.
I will watch it later. I won't. No.
Okay, good. Because I know Bear talked about it last week, and he's like, go with my picks, if you know what I mean. He's pretty much...
you wouldn't let me, so that was quite rude.
Well, I appreciate you for being honest, and that's going to make for better time. Brandon, how did you feel about, well, we know with those 4 being out there, and today they have their match, and HBK is in Triple H's corner, Kane is in Taker's corner, and it's setting them up for a tag team match at Crown Jewel like we talked about, or even Survivor Series maybe, but I think they save it for Crown Jewel just because of the money they're going to pull from that. What did you think about the bald head of Mr. Hickenbottom?
Well, again, just to go back, you know, when Triple H came out, he came out to bow down to the King. I wish he was coming out to, you know, it's all about the game. I was waiting for it.
I thought he was coming out to that too.
I was waiting for it, and yeah, he came out to bow down to the King. I was like, come on. And but yeah, Kane hit him, and that hat came flying out, that cowboy hat. And he had a bald head. I was like, what's...
How bald are we talking? Because I haven't seen it yet.
It was
He
bald.
shaved his head.
Completely bald.
Stone Cold Shawn Michaels.
Oh,
Yeah, and I was like,
weird.
whoa, what? I know he cut it because he made an appearance about 4 or 5 months ago.
It was at the Hall of Fame. It was cut, and then Jeff Jarrett said something about his haircut.
He did
bald
that.
spots before, and then
Yeah.
now it was really thin, so he decided, I guess, apparently to shave it. It's just weird.
I didn't know that.
I think he's going to wear like the do-rag or whatever like he had last night for the match. We'll see. It'll be interesting when he comes back. We know he's coming back. I think I don't know if I sent to you that he is jacked.
Yeah, when I saw that on Monday, I was like, wow. I mean, yeah, the dude is ripped.
Yeah, he for 54, 55 years old, that dude, he did his signature pose, and I'm like, oh man, that dude's.
Sean's always been in good shape.
He's been in good shape.
So
now he looks like not just ripped.
I'm gonna have to look. I didn't
good.
watch Monday. Monday, unfortunately, is still Monday Night Football and will be for a while. But I'm gonna have to look that up because one, I think him with a bald head is gonna be really weird. It'll be like the first time Triple H shaved his head. It's gonna look really, and Taker too also looked odd. So I'll be interested to see what old Sean looks like. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me. He's always been in good shape.
So on Tuesday when we recorded, Bear, afterwards, you had the chance to look at, Brandon and I were talking about KO and Elias and that pop in Seattle when they were talking about like a basketball team, when Elias mentioned a basketball team leaving. What did you think of that? Well, I don't want to say pop, heat, because we're next week are going to be discussing top 3 pop, the pops we've ever heard, and top 3 heat, most heat we've ever heard. What did you think about that?
I mean, the clip I looked was on ESPN, so I didn't get the full clip, but it was 2 minutes and 15 seconds long of pretty much just them booing the entire time, and I thought it was awesome, making the Seattle Supersonics joke, and then even antagonizing more with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And it was actually longer than that 2.5 minutes that you saw.
Yeah, I know,
like
that was just
5
a
or 10
clip.
minutes.
So yeah, that makes it even better and makes it pretty good. That's some good heat right there. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. None that even come to my head. And if you said it went even longer, that's great. That's a good hot crowd right there, and that's what they need more of. That's the wrestling part of it is great, but that is realistically what they need more of, is the crowd to get into this and not have their little stupid chants, "You deserve it." Literally one of the worst chants ever. And actually, we'll get into that a little bit later. That is one of Jason's debate topics that we'll bring up here. But I think that was great. It's good. I don't know if they don't go to Seattle a lot. It's not like one of those towns it seems like they're at quite a bit. So it's when they get Raw there, they get SmackDown there, they all show up and they're doing a really good job of that. So I love seeing that. I think that was awesome, and I hope crowds like that keep it up and get a little bit more cursing and whatnot too in the crowd.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, and we've got the Super Showdown that is going on currently. So I wanted to get into our picks, what we thought's going to happen, and really just kind of hit off on that. We got several matches that we want to get into, so let's just get right into that, and hopefully we will.
Do you have that up and ready?
Yeah, I have it ready to go.
Good.
Can you give us I can't see the board. I'm going to have to take a look and see what our current records are on pay-per-views.
I don't know.
I'm 13-7-1. Bears 11-9-1. Brandon's 8-12-1. Not doing too hot with the pay-per-views. So
it's right behind the TV, which has Game Day on right now, so I'm trying to pay attention to that. I can't even see that side of the board, so.
All good. So let's just go right into it. First match, Triple H versus The Undertaker with HBK and Kane in the corners.
Yeah, all 4 of those are going to do some. I mean, all 4 of them are going to be, in the match. So regardless if it's just Triple H or The Undertaker, give me.
Oh, shit.
No way.
Give me. Oh, man.
No way, Apollo.
Give me The Undertaker.
Yeah, something fishy's gonna happen. I can see Taker winning, but if it's Triple H by DQ, that's where it gets rough. They want to say that this is gonna be the last one and do it down there, but when you have HBK in there, something weird's gonna happen. But I think if this really is the last one, they're gonna have Taker win. So I'm gonna take Taker here.
I also have The Undertaker, and of course it's going to set up something for a tag team match, so we'll see how it all ends. They're going to be involved, all 4 of them, like Brandon said. Next, Bobby Lashley, John Cena against Elias and Kevin Owens.
Give me John Cena, Bobby Lashley.
Bear?
Yeah, like you said, I didn't. With that, obviously, the Elias and Kevin Owens thing on Monday, they were obviously pushing more or less, I'm sure, Cena and Lashley's buttons with that whole thing. Not watching is going to be tough, but give me Give me Cena and Lashley, I guess. I think that they'll beat them. I mean, this is going to be a match to make. Where's this at again? Abu Dhabi or something? Australia.
Melbourne.
I can't remember. Yeah, so I think that this will be something just to make the fans happy. There's probably going to be a lot of faces winning. So give me Lashley and Cena.
I also have Lashley and Cena primarily because John Cena is back. He's been living in China for the last several months. He's going to be there a couple more months. He's filming a movie. Have you seen him?
Yeah, the long hair. I'm not
the
like
long brown hair, and he's like I showed it to the girlfriend, and she's like, he's disgusting. I'm like, why is he disgusting? She's like, he's so skinny. I'm like, he's still like 225 pounds, just
he's
jacked.
cut up. Yep.
Yeah, he's just cut up more than he already was.
Are we going to see the what's his new move? The what is it called?
I think it was a one-off, but the Cobra Strike or Python or whatever the hell it was.
Maybe he's reinventing himself right now.
Right, he might be.
It's possible.
So give me Lashley and Cena as well. Next, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Winner is the number one contender for the WWE Championship.
Give me the Miz.
Whoa, what was that?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I said give me the Miz. I mean, I want Daniel Bryan to win, but I think it's going to be the Miz.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, this will also depend on what Samoa and AJ are going to do. And obviously, this is going to be the last run of them here as we get to that match in a little bit. I see it's a no count out, no DQ match for the WWE title. Oh, man. I've picked Samoa Joe the last two times, and he hasn't won. He's been close. He's had two, that kind of went out. So I have a feeling AJ's going to win, and it'll probably be The Miz. I think they'll set up for a good feud. So I'm going to take The Miz over Daniel Bryan.
I also, like I said a few podcasts ago, this all depends on what happens in the Samoa Joe and AJ Styles match, but I also have The Miz winning this match. I think he becomes the number one tender. I think a chicken tender or something. Number one contender for the
quite
WWE.
lunch yet, but we're getting there.
WWE Championship. So give me Mike Mizanin.
You know where you can get good chicken tenders from?
Not Wendy's.
Wendy's.
Chick-fil-A.
Well, definitely Wendy's. Much better than Burger King's crappy tenders. So.
I was going to say that. Hey, does Burger King still have the chicken fries?
I think they do.
Yes, they do. Which is the only good thing they have on their menu.
Oh.
You're higher than a kite.
Have you had Wendy's chicken tenders? They're delicious.
Have you had McDonald's new chicken tenders?
No, I have not.
They're
I'm
good.
legit.
Chick-fil-A, though, is obviously the best.
Chick-fil-A is always going to be the
But
best.
the spicy ones from McDonald's, they're good. Oh, yeah. Really good.
I saw those the other day, and I was like, but now they have some stupid Monopoly game back, so it's going to make me go and get their stupid things. I'm so mad. Stupid Monopoly. Stupid McDonald's. Go ahead. Shield.
I had Miz. I think we all had Miz, right?
Yeah,
Have
we
we
had
all
Miz.
agreed so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shield versus Braun, Dolph, and Drew McIntyre.
Give me the Shield.
Like I said, it's a one of these one-off shows. It's not really. I mean, there is storyline behind some of it, but it's going to be a lot of faces and people that want to see win to make everybody happy. So definitely the Shield here.
And the Shield. Bellas and Ronda Rousey versus the Riot Squad. With a healthy Liv Morgan. Will actually make it to the match.
I saw her last Monday. Give me Roddy Ronda and the Bellas.
Yep.
Next, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. No count out, no disqualification for the WWE title.
This is gonna be match of the day. Give me. Man, I don't want to see AJ lose, but give me Samoa Joe.
What in the hell? You just picked the Miz, so you're gonna have two heels. I already picked.
You know what? That's true. That's true.
Picked. Nope.
You get Samoa.
But no, give me no. Screw it. I'll stay with it. Give me Samoa Joe.
Maybe the Miz will turn face.
Yeah, give me AJ Styles.
Yeah, AJ Styles here too. Yeah, Samoa Joe's not going face after what he did on last Tuesday. This past Tuesday, though, Paige came out, talked a little bit about what was going on, with that, and that Samoa Joe did not make it into the house, and there were trespassing charges filed. And AJ Styles is not leaving his house. He said this on Tuesday. Is not leaving his house until he knows Samoa Joe is on a plane to Australia. So that's how that segment went. Kind of boring, kind of bland. But Give me AJ Styles. So Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight title.
Cedric Alexander retains.
I don't know who either of these guys are, so yeah, give me the guy who already has the belt.
Cedric Alexander, that is. And I got him as well. New Day versus The Bar. SmackDown titles.
Give me the Burr. We are the Burr.
I mean, I like going to the bar, but like I said, it's going to be a face thing. New Day.
New Day. Pancake Power. Asuka and Naomi versus, the Iconics?
The Iconics are not going to lose in Australia. Give me the Iconics.
Did you say Austria?
I said Australia.
You sound like you said Austria.
Okay, well, I said Australia.
Are they Australian?
Yes.
Throw another shrimp on the bobby.
Yes.
Yeah,
they probably drink Foster's.
Give me the Australians. What are they? The Iconics?
Yes.
Yep, give me them.
Same here. All right. And then last, which, by the way, was a good segment on SmackDown with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte threw Becky through her own poster, which was pretty awesome. So I just wanted to mention that. It's pretty sweet to see. And, we can kind of go on this. We can talk a little bit about it with Becky being the heel here. But, Charlotte got the better of her on the show. So, Brandon, what do you think, man?
Becky Lynch. Picking a lot of heels today. Give me Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I'm taking Charlotte here. I've picked Charlotte the other 112 times, so doing it again.
Give me Becky. So did you happen to see when Charlotte came down, ran into the ring, and then speared Becky? So people, I don't know if you heard it, they were just booing the shit out of her. This is why I said you got this thing where Becky is a heel that people want to cheer for.
Yeah.
Like the opposite of Roman, who is a face that everybody wants to boo. So it's kind of the opposite of what we have seen in the past and what is going on. So she got that figure four on there, and then she was hanging off the apron to tighten up the hold, so to speak, as she has done in the past. But fans were cheering for Becky. So
interesting.
It is. So I take it you didn't watch SmackDown this week?
No, I did not.
You usually don't, so that's okay.
Well, I mean, when we did the podcast on Tuesday, I didn't get home until after 10 o'clock, so SmackDown would have been over.
Correct. So
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Stop stealing my line.
No, we're not going to stop stealing your line. It's, I don't know. I like what they're doing with Becky. I like her as being a heel, getting cheered, the opposite of Roman. So it's much appreciated there, and I hope she wins. And it should be a good event. There's not too many matches on the card, but what do you think is going to go off as the main here? You think it's Becky and Charlotte?
What? No. It'll obviously be Triple H and Undertaker.
You think so?
I don't think it's going to be the main.
Yeah,
I'd love it, but
I would love it too.
It'll be Styles and Joe. I mean,
yeah, but the WWE Championship has not been in a main event, I think, in over a year.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be Becky and Charlotte. I don't see that. Why isn't Lesnar on this?
probably because he's sitting at home and drinking a beer.
Because they're not going to fight till Crown Jewel.
Shooting an elk.
Because they already have a
Asked
3-on-3.
Why not? You got some elk to shoot?
Yeah. Brock Lesnar and an elk come to fight. Yeah, it's because they have the 3-on-3 match already set up, and he's going to be there for Crown Jewel. So that's why Lesnar is not on this card, and he'll probably be at UFC anyway, won't he? He has no reason to be, but
I mean, yeah, I don't know. He might be. I don't know. It is a big fight.
Yeah. So speaking of which, let's get into UFC. You take it from here, Bear.
Okay, so we obviously we're just going to go over the main card here. I didn't do much undercard searching on this. So UFC 229, your headliner is Khabib and Conor McGregor. Khabib is 26-0. McGregor obviously coming back after not fighting in the UFC for going on 2 years here after making $100+ million fighting Floyd Mayweather. Coming back, really going to try to get back the belt that he never lost. So it should be a great fight. But starting from the top, with strawweight women's fight, Michelle Waterson is 15-6, is fighting Felice Herrig, who is 14-7. Waterson is 3-2 in her last 5. Felice 4-1. This will not be a very exciting fight. I don't see. I'm going to go Watterson by decision here. What do you think?
Watterson as well. Decision.
Brandon?
Give me
the elk by gunshot.
Who'd you say?
Watterson.
Sure, give me Watterson.
I'm writing down your pick. So
Watterson by straw.
This is a big fight tonight.
Sorry, there was a little game day Notre Dame distraction, so I took my head up. Took my.
Are you gonna watch the fight tonight?
No, Notre Dame plays at 8. Why would I watch the fight?
Well, but by the time Connor and Khabib go on that.
Oh
game
that'll
will
be like
over.
midnight. So yeah,
So
I'll probably watch
are you
it.
gonna watch it? You're broke. You don't have cable. You said.
Yeah, I'm broke, so I don't know where I'd go.
I invited him earlier in the week to go over to Nate's to watch it, but
Nah, I got more important things to do. Notre Dame's on.
nobody cares about
Because
Notre
there's
Dame.
3 TVs, but he's like, I don't want Notre Dame on mute.
I don't. No, you don't. No, I'm sorry.
Just plug in a headset
Doug
to the
Flutie
TV.
is annoying. What do you not understand about that?
No, I need to be in my zone today. I need to watch my game, and no. Need to
What
be
do we got
in my
next?
zone.
Lewis and Volkov.
Whatever. So we have Derek Lewis, who's 25 and 1-0 contest against Alexander Volkov. Derek Lewis 4 and 1 in his last 4. Volkov 5 and 0, but really not fighting. They're fighting a lot of the older guys: Roy Nelson, Fabricio Verdum, Stefan Struve. Lewis, out of his 20 wins, guess how many of them are by knockout?
3.
17.
Oh,
17
the
of his
other.
20 wins by
I
knockout.
meant to say 3 or not.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm sure you did. So I have Lewis by TKO first round punches.
I was going to take Lewis, but by second round TKO punches.
I don't know if his gas tank will get him there.
Give me Lennox Lewis.
Cool, Brandon. Light heavyweight fight, third fight of the night. OSP is fighting Dominic.
What's his actual name?
Oh, I don't know. It's like I don't know his first name, but his last name's St. Preux.
Oh, Vince.
Oh, Vince. Yeah, it's like, but it's
Does
not.
he say it like that?
No, it's not.
Oh,
He's
Vince.
like French or something. So.
Oh, Vince.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's why I call him OSP, and that's why everybody else does. He's like the poor GSP. So light heavyweight fight. He's 23 and 11. Dominic Reyes, who he's fighting, is 9.
Sorry, dude. Poor man's GSP.
It's true. I mean, he's using OSP. It's a fact. So Dominic Reyes is 9 and 0. He has 3 UFC fights, obviously 3 and 0 in them. OSP is 4 and 1 in his last 5. But Reyes is an absolute great kickboxer, and he has 3 or 4 wins, I think, by head kick already. Mm-hmm. One of those in the UFC, the other couple outside of the UFC. OSP is going to try to wrestle with him, but he's been in a couple fights where he likes to stand and strike for some reason. So I think if he wrestles with him, it'll be kind of a boring fight and keep this Reyes down, even though he does have a couple submissions. But I'm going with the old head kick by Reyes. First round knockout. He's going to take him by surprise and knock his head off here.
I also have Reyes going to 10 and 0 in the first round.
Reyes.
Are you just going to pick everyone we pick?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Light heavyweight fight, co-main of the evening. Tony Ferguson versus Anthony Pettis. This is going to be an absolutely great fight. Both of them are studs. Tony Ferguson was stripped of his belt, which I'm sure whoever wins this fight will get the winner of Khabib and McGregor, unless it's a close fight between them and they end up having a rematch, something like that. I don't think they will. Ferguson should have never been. I mean, he was stripped of his title because he was injured, but he should have never been stripped of his title. Should at least have an interim on. Anthony Pettis has fought cream of the crop, but not the greatest here in the last couple. Ferguson coming off of his injury. He's 23 and 3. I think he's won his last 18 fights or something like that. 10, whatever. He's dominated people. He's a beast. Ferguson, second round, rear naked choke. He's going to finish him fast.
Yeah, I also have Ferguson. He is not. You know when the last time he lost a match was?
A long time ago.
Give me a year.
2006.
Close to the. Well, sort of. He did lose. He's lost a couple times since. He's lost 3 times since then. He's been fighting since 2008 was his first recorded fight. But 2012 is the last time he fought against Michael Johnson. And it was a unanimous decision. Yeah. So the last couple of
I think that was in Tough. That was in the Ultimate Fighter, right? Michael Johnson won that.
Yes.
That was his last loss. Yeah,
that
he's
was
dominated ever since.
Yeah, it was UFC on Fox, and that was the Diaz versus Miller.
Really?
Yes, because Ultimate Fighter, he won.
Did he win
against,
the Ultimate Fighter then?
He won against Edwards in the finale. I don't know if he won it.
I think
but
Michael Johnson was on that season too, so he
might have been.
Yeah.
But 3 of his last 4 fights, he's won by submission. So I think he wins by submission here. It's probably going to be in, I don't know, what round did you say? I'm saying second round.
I said the second round.
Did you?
Rear
Okay.
naked choke.
Yeah. So it could be rear naked choke or triangle choke. 3 of the last 4 fights, that's what he's done. He's won by choke. So give me the triangle choke in the second round. That's what he did in his last fight.
Anthony Pettis upset.
Great. Thanks. Okay, so the big fight of the night, obviously probably the biggest fight in recent UFC memory. And I'm going to totally butcher his last name, but Khabib Nurmagomedov, something like
Nurmagomedov,
that. Something like that. He's very Russian. Probably got vodka flowing through his veins.
Tagovailoa.
Exactly.
To Tagovailoa.
26-0. Obviously has never lost in the UFC. Never lost anywhere. The dude's a monster. He can wrestle. He can strike. It can be anything. Absolute machine. McGregor is going to have issues with him. I think that Khabib should try to wrestle. McGregor is a knockout artist. He can also submit, but being on this boxing kick, I don't see Khabib standing with McGregor. I think if he does, he's going to fall right into the trap, which he shouldn't. Like I said, McGregor coming off the Floyd fight, like you said, probably made about $100 million. That figure isn't out yet, but is his head really going to be there? Does he really want to do this? Is this exactly what is wanted right now? We're going to find out. His last fight was November 12th, 2016, when he knocked out Eddie Alvarez in a pretty boring fight. Eddie Alvarez didn't even show up, it seemed like. He just absolutely dominated him. I think Conor wants to fight Floyd again. I don't know if he's going to fight to his full potential. My pick is Khabib winning in decision. But if Khabib tries to stand and bang with him, he will get knocked out. I really do think that he'll have his first loss. If he's smart and if he wrestles with Conor, he will beat Conor. It's simple as that. We're going to see how that goes. But give me Khabib by decision and then keeps the belt.
Brandon, I'll let you go.
Just great analysis from you guys. Give me Khabib.
I didn't say anything, but okay. Thank you.
I mean, overall.
Thank you.
Overall, you guys know a lot more about UFC than I do, so just great analysis. Give me Khabib.
Khabib is pissed off, and basically because Conor is the greatest shit talker in the sport, and that's why it draws so many people, and it's why so many people think it's just rigged and fake as shit. Seriously, I mean, a lot of people think this is all just bullshit, all set up just because of how things go. And
I hope he's going in actually pissed because you see these guys just do it for show, and they go in and then everything's cool after the fight. Now I hope he's actually freaking pissed at this guy. And
I can't agree more with Bear. The Khabib he's a decision fighter. He is, and this is for a title, correct? The title that Conor never lost.
It's for the lightweight title.
So he would go to decision. He's not fought anybody like Conor, and Conor hasn't been in there. Conor's looking tough. I think if what you said, basically, Barrett, I'm going to go on the opposite side. I'm going to take McGregor because I see Khabib. It's going to be a Khabib decision or Conor's going to catch him and knock his ass out. Conor does not get knocked out.
It was just like
You going Bisping?
Jose Aldo.
Oh,
no,
yeah, Jose Aldo.
Yeah,
no one knocked his ass out.
No one saw that coming, and Aldo has never been knocked out like that before. So
dude can freaking hit.
Yes, and people don't understand that, and that's what I'm saying. And he's coming off of a boxing training camp. I mean, you got to understand
Insane.
that. You got to understand that. If anything, his ground game is going to be, and that's what I'm saying. Khabib is smart. He knows what he's doing. I can't imagine him standing with Conor. I think it's going to be one of those he tries to take him down, and if he can, then Conor's going to be in trouble. If he can't take him down, is where the issues are going to arise. That's where it's going to happen to where Conor is, he's going to do that, and Khabib's going to want him to come down, and he won't, and they'll have to stand up, and he's going to try to shoot. It could be one of those boring fights. We're going to see exactly what's going on here. So I think that it's going to be a great fight, though. It'll be pretty fun.
Who'd you say, Brandon?
Khabib.
I got McGregor. And so, we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting matchup. And, I'm hoping to see Conor, of course, come out. And these guys, of course, took Khabib. So, Bear, let's go right into the Jason debate. What did he have for us this week?
So this week, the first thing he asked was why Brandon was acting like a child on last week's show with his flatulence and being rude and difficult. So would you like to answer that, Brandon, to Jason?
I don't think I was being difficult at all. I think I was being just fine.
What's difficult?
Did I say difficult? I meant difficult.
Oh, well, what about the flatulent part?
I told you, Freddy the Frog made a presence, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
You admitted to passing gas.
Nope, I demand a revote.
Oh, well,
Okay,
I vote Brandon.
Brandon.
Okay, so it's 2-1, you lose.
Yep.
Nope.
Anyways, he said he's still a fan of yours, so I want you to know that.
I'm glad.
Keep your hopes up.
I'm glad. I'm glad I have
would-
at least one fan out there, so it's all good.
He would just hope that you would stop, using your bowels to make certain movements. So he gave us 4 questions this week.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Question number 1. Can you debate on and explain to your thousands and thousands of listeners concerning a recent post on the Twitter machine which shows an in-match rib? And by the way, I'm reading this word for word of how he put it because sometimes he does make funnies every once in a while. The rib was the hand placement of one of the bushwhackers taking a body slam. Look it up. So, before the show today, I showed Gary and Brandon this rib that one of the bushwhackers, as they were taking a suplex, rubbed another man who was giving the suplex his groin. And when we mean rubbed, it was a nice firm rub. I think this was an absolutely hilarious rib. A little bit weird, but could you imagine if Sable did that when giving her a suplex? How'd you feel about that?
I don't. I mean, that would. I don't know. I mean, back.
You're still thinking about it, aren't you? Because I see this big smile on your face.
It's too early for this. No, back to the. I mean, if you know the bushwhackers, it was hilarious when you showed it to me. I was laughing. I'm not surprised if you know who the bushwhackers are.
The bushwhackers.
The bushwhackers are.
Would you say that he was whacking his bush? Because that's what it looked like. I'm just saying, if you're listening to this, look it up on Twitter. Just look up Bushwhacker Suplex in Twitter, search it, and it should be something by Jim Cornette or someone shares it. It's pretty funny. And
Double mayo.
Absolutely hilarious.
Cheese, double mayo.
What do you think, Gary? I'm sure you would have enjoyed it.
If I was body slamming good old Sable and she did that?
No, another man.
It depends on the man, I guess. If Randy Orton gave me those hands, all day, baby.
Would Randy Orton be the one doing the rubbing or doing the handsy stuff? Or is that the
Isn't
same
that
thing?
the same thing?
More or less. I meant to say suplex. Is he giving you the suplex and you're rubbing?
Are you
or
doing
are
the
you
rubbing?
giving the suplex and he's rubbing?
How about Alexa Bliss gives me...
No,
we can't go
it's
that
Randy
way.
Orton.
Yeah. Hopefully he's wearing a cup.
Why would he be wearing a cup?
I don't know. Some wrestlers wear cups.
I don't think they do.
Then why did some of their junk just look like perfectly round cups?
Maybe they have perfectly round junk. You should ask them. Tweet them and ask.
You can throw that at OTL Sports Pod. Throw that out to some of the wrestlers.
I will not do that on the Over the Line Sports Podcast.
On the Twitter machine?
Twitter. So that will not happen.
Maybe we can get Stat Guy who doesn't play along anymore or help us out in any which way, shape, or form.
Is he still missing?
Yep.
Yeah. I thought that we were going to get Jake on Tuesday to be our new stat guy. How's that going?
Well,
he I know you got back early from the road, so how'd that go with you guys?
He's still drunk, so he's following in Stat Guy's footsteps.
All those Arnold Palmers?
Yeah, all those spiked
Those
Arnold
Palmers, huh?
And he had a couple Miller Lights. Shock.
Yeah.
He must have talked to Stat Guy when we were coming back up through Covington to get back home.
There you go.
I don't know. We had to stop at Covington to get gas, so he might have ran into Stat Guy and he just gave him some
That guy
Miller Lite.
probably knew you were coming through, was stalking you or something. I'm sure he still listens. So
Yeah,
he
he rubs his belly button as we come by. That's what he's like. How's it going?
I
Rub
can see
belly
that.
button. Yeah,
While he
it's
cracks
terrible.
his Miller Lite open too.
Yep, he does do that, but it is what it is. But Jake, he may make it back as Stat Guy. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't. He's drunk.
You might have to pay him in Doritos and spiked Arnold Palmers. That might work.
Yeah, or just pay him in straight cash, homie, because he enjoys that working those Luke Bryan shows.
I think everyone enjoys straight cash.
Straight cash.
Except Brandon with his college picks. He'd have a lot of straight cash if he played them. We'll see.
I don't like losing money.
See what he does.
You would be destroying
You'd
it.
be up 15 units, so you'd be up $150 if you bet $10 on every game. Just remember that. So question number 2.
That's okay.
It's okay. Question number 2. I hope you go 10-0 this week too. Just
I hope I do, too.
Or 12-0, or how many ever college games we have today. I don't even know. We did 9 last week, and then we do like 12 this week. So who knows? We'll see. The second question Jason had. Several wrestlers claim this title. In our opinion, who is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time? Brandon, go ahead.
I gotta go with Jericho. I think he's got the record at 9. Miz is gonna take it from him. I think Miz is at 8. I think so. Yeah. I gotta go Jericho.
Okay. I think that the best is Honky Tonk Man. I'm pretty sure he said he was the best, so that's a fact. Honky Tonk Man, greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. He drove around with Peggy Sue, and DDP even drove him around. That's how you know he's good. When DDP is driving you around.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, how much DDP yoga have you done since the last podcast on Tuesday?
I did it Tuesday. I did it. What is today's Saturday? So I did it Thursday.
I don't think we asked you Tuesday what your weight
I'm still
was.
the same. Still the same.
298.4.
Yeah, 298.2. I think last time.
Interesting.
Did you guys happen to catch that Anthony Wayne game last night? 7-0 now. Looking pretty good.
No, I didn't check it out, but
I didn't.
Yeah, you're welcome. Either way, 7-0, looking good.
I'll have to go watch Super Showdown instead.
Yeah.
Since I can't watch it here, you're not letting me. It's quite rude. You're like taking me hostage more or less in your ex-wife's garage, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, so who's your greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time?
Jericho, because I mean he's in my top 5. So give me Jericho.
Good one, Brandon.
I think Miz could overtake him though, being where he is, and Miz actually brought legitimacy back to the title. There's been several people who have held that belt. I mean, Razor did a good job holding it. It was an actual stepping stone for people. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Razor, those guys. It was a good title to have then. It's good to see it coming back now. Seth had it for a little bit, and Mike and Miz, and so I mean we'll see. And right now it's on Rollins. Straps on Rollins.
Yeah, he just won it from Dolph, right? A couple months ago.
Right.
So speaking of The Miz, excluding him from this, Jason says, who is the next Hollywood A-list actor from the WWE? So obviously that The Rock wouldn't count. Cena doesn't count. These guys Orton doesn't count. These guys that have been in movies, Big Show. Who is the
first off, Miz is not an A-list actor, but of course he calls himself that.
He is an A-list actor. That's a fact.
Why is he an A-list actor?
He's in like the Marine 5. That's a good movie.
And 6 is coming out with Shawn Michaels and Becky Lynch.
See? Look at that. It's a great franchise. All A-list actors.
Yes. Brandon, go ahead, man. And you can't... Kane, he was in, See No Evil, so can't include Kane.
Oh, he's too busy drinking a stupid pumpkin spice. I can smell it from here. It makes me want to yak.
Yeah. Who's the next guy? Let me...
Or girl.
Yeah,
Does he say guy or girl? Does it matter?
Nope, he said, who is the next Hollywood A-list actor from the WWE? That's
okay.
it.
And Triple H has been in a movie.
Actor, but
you can't say Triple H. So, got to go with somebody else.
Give me...
That was Brandon.
That was not me.
It was Fred of the Frog.
It was. Let me go with... Man, I don't know. I have no idea. How about you guys go first, and then I'll think about it.
Go ahead, Bear.
If I had to pick the next, I mean, I don't think Dolph has really been in anything, right? I don't think so.
He's...
I mean, if
you count Total Divas.
No, this
not
is
reality TV.
Let me say Dolph. I mean, he's got the look. He could be an actor. I think that Dolph could certainly, he could be an A-list actor for sure. So my pick's going to be Dolph.
I have a few.
Charlotte is a very close second, but there's other movies I'd like for her to star in
with
me.
you.
Go ahead.
Charlotte Does the Woods, starring Bear.
I'm not going to be able to stand up for another 10 minutes at least.
Yes. So I've got a few people, and one would be Strowman. I could see him in a horror flick.
Yeah.
And then I like Elias a lot, so give me Elias. I think he could do it. He's fun to watch play the guitar. He gets a lot of heat there. I don't know what kind of role he would play, but I could see him doing it. I don't know why him, but give me Elias.
Like that?
Brandon?
I don't know. Give me. I like Strowman. I can.
Why
see,
are you
I can,
on this show? This is the second week in a row you don't know.
I didn't look at all these questions.
He doesn't know when you
Give me-
quiz him. That's why he picks Rocket Ishmael.
No.
And gimmicks that are terrible.
First of all, that wasn't on the list, so you just threw that out there. So yeah, I went with speed again. Like I'm going to say for the frickin' 19th time. Give me Daniel Bryan.
Okay, why?
Because he can act. I don't know.
He's going to be in Teen Wolf, except it's going to be Teen Wolf all grown up since Michael J. Fox can't do anything anymore.
Wow.
So
wow.
we're going to go. He could be in, what is
Wow,
it?
he went there.
Adult Wolf, the sequel.
Dear goodness. Yeah, but, oh, man, I can't believe you just did that.
That's okay.
I don't know. I can see. I don't know. I can.
Good thing no one
I don't
can
know.
see it. Cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks, Brandon.
Maybe
You're
he'll do a
great.
comedy, and he'll just his career will take off from there after he retires.
All right, what do we got next?
Okay, so the last question that he has, and then there's one more question that's not a wrestling question that I'm going to ask as well. But question number 4 of Jason, and I mentioned this earlier, your favorite crowd chant and why? And we know what my non-least favorite is. So, Brandon, favorite crowd chant ever?
It's a good one.
Don't
I know you. I know you hate the
I don't care. Say it. If that's
and
your favorite one, say it.
and the you deserve it. I gotta go.
That's a terrible chant. Stop.
I gotta go with what? I think it's again
What?
Stone Cold. I'm sorry, but Stone Cold when that was going on, I mean that just it took over even like in the high school. I remember pep rallies when we were in high school, and we just what? I mean I gotta go another Stone Cold.
But was that because of Cheers? Like what? Remember that whole thing with the Cheers? What?
No, it was.
We got
no,
Spirit.
it's-
We got Spirit.
I think that just sort of happened. I mean, and it still happens today.
Yeah.
When Stone Cold's not out there, if people draw the long promo and they stop in, what, and go from there.
Yeah,
In
he
terms of
has-
longevity, it stands it's time. I
Yeah.
can't spit out my words here.
He's even said in a couple of interviews that he kind of feels bad that has started, that he did that because it's now in today's and people are trying to cut a promo, making it in the business, and they're having what yelled at him constantly. So
That's
he
awesome.
Said, he said he kind of feels bad about it, but I mean, if I got to pick one of those, it's got to be what.
I like that. I think that's a good one. I didn't even think of that, to be honest with you, so I'm happy you brought that one up. Mine is probably the ECW chant. ECW. I mean, dude, that is raucous through everywhere. I mean, that didn't just happen in the ECW arena. That went everywhere. I mean, and people go through tables in the late night. That's what would come up. Also, my other favorite is You Effed Up. Definitely the favorite one. Someone botches it, because that still happens today, too. Someone botches a move, and it all coming from ECW. Those are two of my favorites, definitely, especially when you get a nice loud one, or obviously the old bullshit chant, but that one.
I thought I like what I mean. It's still around, so it's great to see. What I liked back in the day, because you didn't even have to play the music, and the things would happen when Fandango would come out. That whole thing with his music back when he was Fandango and not what he is now, and everybody do a song. It was quite funny just to see. But yeah, nothing can touch that. I like anything The Rock does. The millions of Rock's fans chanting his name, or the dozens and dozens.
Canaanites?
Yes. So the Hulk Hogan, anything he did, but nobody really chanted anything for him, did they? He just did the whole ear thing.
I don't know if this is a chant,
No,
but
not really.
I'm surprised you guys didn't bring up Ric Flair.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, that of course.
Yeah.
I know it's not a chant.
I think it
but-
was more like a chant, just anything, I chanting wise, I would think that it would be more of what you normally get. Like I said, I hate the ones they have now. I think they suck. But obviously, holy shit.
What about asshole?
Shit. Yeah, that's great. When Vince did that, he would immediately come out, and that's what the chant would be like. And it was everybody, and it was loud, and it was amazing.
I don't know what you're thinking, but you got about 20,000 fans calling you an asshole.
I love
Always
it.
the best, and his reaction was always great off.
Like
of that
when
too.
people would sing his song when he came out. You've got no chance, and they've got a sign. They're still chanting it.
I mean, yeah, now that we bring that up, Kurt Angle, you suck. I mean, that's got to be up there. I just thought about that right now. I mean, that is all. I mean, still to this day, I mean, it's
another one
that's a
that
good
carries.
one too. Didn't even think about that, but yeah, that was also a great one. So the last question that he has isn't a wrestling-based question. It's just one to piss Brandon off even more. But Jason asked, did Stat Guy quit, or was he just overwhelmed by Brandon's digestive behavior?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I think he quit. I mean, he hasn't been here in a long time.
Are you sure it wasn't because of you? You didn't smell him off. I mean, scare him off.
No, I mean, he wasn't here last week, so I don't know.
Well,
I think he just quit. I mean, like I said, last text I got from him was tequila and pancakes.
Speaking of that, have you checked the chair since your incident last week?
Again, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not here to talk about the past. I'm here to talk about the future. So I think he quit. I don't know where he's at, but yes, this pumpkin spice is pretty good though.
Oh, jeez.
all right. So, thank you, Jason, for some more debate questions as always. Remember your deadline to get them to us so we have some time to think about it, even though none of us saw it. Bear, I actually kind of like it that we don't know. So,
Don't know what.
what he's going to ask us. What?
No, it's good. I mean, yeah, these questions, I mean, he's always had good questions, but there's just a lot of good ones that we keep getting and makes us
So
think
why
a
don't you
little
just
bit.
wait until the podcast and tell us then? You lead that.
I can do that.
I like that. Because it gives
I'll
me
just
something to
when,
not study.
when he does send an email, I'll just cut out what he says about Brandon to make him mad throughout the day.
Sounds good to me.
When he's eating his Burger King French toast sticks.
All right. So the next thing, we got the perfect discussion. And this is actually a good one. You guys might like this. So we all brag when a wrestler gets big, and we saw it all along and knew. So for him, it was when Triple H was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, debuted, knew he would be a star, not to the extent of what he became. So the discussion he would like us to go into is the other way. So which wrestlers were you certain would be huge stars, only to see them be a bust and not anything? For him, he thought Lance Cade was going to be great, and more recently Big Cass. And he still thinks that Big Cass has a chance if he comes back, kind of like Drew did, coming back, and he could potentially be a main eventer. So are there guys that you thought would be just rock stars and just it didn't catch on for any reason?
I think that Sean Stasiak could have been there. I mean, had the look, had the body, had the not the best charisma. I think he got hurt with terrible gimmicks like meat. I'm pretty sure that was his first one in the WWE. Meat? Yeah, because he was with, I think, Terry and Jacqueline, he was part of that. And, yeah, his dad was, he was, what was his name? Was that Stan too? Yeah, I think it was, yeah, so he would have been a junior. But, he had the pedigree, had it all, and they kind of gave him some crappy gimmicks that maybe wasn't the greatest. Shoot, off the top of my head, who else? Man, that's tough. It really is, just trying to think back and who just kind of was up and failed. That was the first one that came to my head. Brandon, do you have any off the top of your head while I try to sit here and think of one?
Yeah, and this is just because I'm kind of like rewatching, courtesy of the WWE Network, rewatching. I'm in 2003 right now. Sean O'Hare, when he came in, they paired him with Hot Rod, and didn't really take off. Hot Rod got in a little mess in an interview outside of the WWE, so he kind of they fired him, and then Sean O'Hare kind of went separate and just never really took off from there. Another guy that I know they had huge hopes for was I think I'm pronouncing his name right. I think it's Matt Morgan. Yep. Went on to TNA. And then just kind of fizzled out. I don't know what he's doing now.
And I'm happy you said that. In that same era, Nathan Jones, too. He worked
Nathan
with The
Jones,
Undertaker. Yeah, I mean, he was the big guy from Australia.
Yeah, and he just had...
And they put him with Taker for that, and that didn't pan out either.
And he had, like, some mental issues or
I think he was the one who...
Jail time.
He was the one who actually came from jail. Yeah. Like, that was... His background was real on that, and he still had issues, I think, as he went.
So after... he was in WrestleMania, and then just fizzled out from there. So... those would be my two.
I would think a few here. So one of them would be Chris Masters. So, yeah, he was up there for a little bit. He was, a big guy like Vince wanted, had the master lock, had
That
all
was
these
so
things.
stupid. I
But it was a
hated
stupid-
that.
stupid
I
move.
couldn't stand the master lock. It was dumb.
Who broke that? Was it Bobby Lashley?
Cena.
I thought it was Cena.
I think it's Cena.
Was it
I think-
Cena?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I thought it was Lashley, but okay.
He was one, of course. There's several others there that you could think of over time, who we thought were there, but just really weren't. And some, I kind of hate to see how I think Wade Barrett got wasted. He could have been used much better. You had the Nexus, and he was a leader of that. If they would have went a different way with that, I think it could have gone a lot better for Wade.
Yeah.
Alicia Fox has some talent. They just don't use her because there's so much stuff going on. So it is what it is, but, there's nothing we can do about it. So anyway, Brandon, praying to the porcelain gods over here. Please
because
do
of
not
the
shit your pants again.
because of the pumpkin spice. I know how that coffee is. You have breakfast in the morning, that coffee runs right through you. So if you're gonna flatulate again, if you could, let us know, and we'll pause the podcast so we don't have the kind of dirty noises on the podcast. That'd be great.
We'll see.
Yeah, thank you.
Will we?
I hope not.
We'll see.
Any others you can think of?
Not off the top. I'm trying to think of maybe a diva, but
There's nothing.
Gail Kim maybe. She.
Yeah. What about Zach Gowen?
Zach Gowen?
He didn't really have height, but he had one leg, so that was pretty impressive.
He's still wrestling. I
Yeah?
think. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
from Ohio too.
One from Crime Time, JTG. They tried to give him a.
Didn't he go to jail?
I don't know. They tried to give him a singles run, but it didn't work out.
That was a
too
good
well.
tag team. I liked.
I liked
actually
Crime
liked
Time.
him. Yeah.
Well, he's not in jail because they still wrestle under Crime Time, actually spelled correctly.
I thought
so,
he had something because I knew the big dude. Oh crap! I can't remember who that was in there now. So
I don't either.
the other one.
It's okay. We don't have to worry about it. As they changed gimmicks for a lot of people, we've seen some gimmick changes that have worked out for people. You can look at Glenn Jacobs, Dr. Isaac Yankem over to Kane. Huge change, made his career,
The ringmaster to Stone Cold.
right?
Yeah, there's quite a bit. Everyone was someone else before. Terrorizing was Triple H. So The Undertaker was someone in WCW before The Undertaker, and
Right.
WWE.
Oz.
Who was
Oz, right? No, that was
That's
that
Kevin
was
Nash.
yeah, it was
Kevin Nash. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just about who I was about to say.
I was about to say, yeah, everyone's had our
Terrorizing.
Diamond Stud was Razor before he was Razor there.
Diamond. Well, he was Scott Hall too before anything. Did you ever see
I thought he was Diamond Stud before.
Well, he
that,
was,
wasn't
but he was. I think he was.
I think
his name.
when he came in, he was Scott Hall. And
But he
then-
was like big, and he had the goatee and
yeah, the long hair. Yeah, the long hair looked like a mullet.
before the machismo. And
Hey, yo.
hey,
He looked older when he first
you know
came
what
in
that
than
just
he did
reminded
when
me?
he was Scott
what,
Hall.
What it reminded me of wrestling 1, 2, 3 Bear. That was classic. Oh my gosh! So last thing to wrap this up: top managers of all time, top 3. You can give me honorable mentions if you want. Brandon, any honorable mentions before we go?
No, I do not this time. Sorry.
Do you even have a top 3 of managers?
I do have a
Oh,
top
okay,
3.
that's
yes.
impressive.
You have
Yes.
honorable mentions?
Are we counting Miss Elizabeth as a manager?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, then my honorable mention is Mr. Fuji. Because if we weren't counting Miss Elizabeth as a manager, which I'll just lead off, she's my number 3, Mr. Fuji would have been my number 3 if she wasn't going to count. So Miss Elizabeth is my number 3, Mr. Fuji is my honorable mention.
I'm sorry. I do have I do have some. I'm sorry.
Miss Elizabeth.
Hey, I wrote it down. No, I'm sorry. Let's go. Freddie Blassie, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Honorable mention?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh God,
You're an idiot.
You are an idiot.
Nope.
All right. Well, I've got the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, and Jim Cornette. Motherfucker.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So
What's your
So
number 3?
my number 3, Paul Bear.
Okay.
my number 3 is also Paul Bear.
Okay.
Are you going to give me a pallbearer or no?
Oh, I'm a nails man.
Thank you.
My Undertaker.
I wanted that. My number 2 is the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, just because he still does all his stuff now, and he managed everybody. Hogan, all the big guys, but Hogan mostly was the one, his claim to fame, and I think they're still best friends to this day. So, yeah, Jimmy Hart. And I love some of the stuff Jimmy Hart did. He was great. He was really annoying, and he was a great heel, but he was also a really good face when he needed to be. So, as a manager, I think he was great both ways.
Now, when you say both ways...
As in a heel and a face.
Oh, all right. I gotcha. Number 2 for me, Paul Heyman. Great promoter, great thing. I mean, what he does... He can come... Brock is a perfect example. You don't have to give Brock a mic. He doesn't have to say one damn word. Heyman can do all the talking for him. Heyman is the man,
and he is, and
he can sell it like how he can sell it on the ring apron or on the side of the ring. For example, WrestleMania 30 when he beat Undertaker, and you see Heyman there like, oh my god, like sells the shock along with everybody else in the arena that was dead silent.
Yeah, so, I didn't have Heyman near there or around there just because of that. He's only managed Lesnar and Big Show. Like, that's it.
And CM Punk.
Did he?
And Kurt Angle for a real quick minute.
Oh, see, I was not watching around
for
the CM Punk time.
Cup of coffee, as people would say.
Gotcha. So, to me, that's why I didn't have him up there. I could see where I get it. He is great, absolutely great on the mic, but probably not even my top 5. To be honest with it, maybe number 10 if I had to pick. Brandon, who's your number 2?
You already said it, Jimmy Hart. I'm not going to go. You already said
then
basically
go to
what
your
I was
number
gonna
1.
say. So my number 1 is who you just said wouldn't even be in your top 10. I'm sorry, Paul Heyman.
I said he'd be 10.
To go off what you said as well. The guy is just a genius. I saw his documentary a couple weeks ago. He is just so smart, knows the business so well. Has been in the business, as we just discussed a couple shows ago, since he was like 14 years old when he would go to the Madison Square Garden and, take pictures. He was a photographer when he first started off. But, his most, his famous man, for being a manager, obviously, is Brock Lesnar. So, I got to go with Paul Heyman.
My number 1 is Bobby the Brain Heenan, and I'm going to assume, Gary, that your number 1 as well. Why Brandon wasn't even in his honorable mentions, I don't know. Easily the greatest manager of all time. Come on, dude. He managed like every heel that he possibly could. He was amazing. He was great on the mic. He actually wrestled before he was a manager, but this is greatest manager, so it doesn't matter. But, he could do everything. He was very believable. I think that Bobby the Brain was the best. He managed Andre. He managed Hercules, Hernandez, all the top heels back in the 80s. And I think that, there's no way that he's not number 1. And I understand that it's your opinion, but I think that Bobby the Brain is definitely number 1. Should be all time in wrestling ever, where most people, in my opinion.
I'm not even going to say, you heard me. Bobby the Brain, number 1. There's nobody up there. The 2 for me, Heyman, is not even close to him. So, Bobby the Brain all the way. Totally agree. I don't have to really say anything else. So, we can go from there. Anything else from y'all?
No, like I said, just look forward to UFC tonight. I'll probably go watch Super Showdown after the show and see how many of my picks were correct. Our picks are correct, and check that out. Obviously I wasn't waking up at... What time did it start this morning? 5?
5 a.m.
That's when it started, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's no way I was waking up that early. I have to do that during the week and get me sleeping a little bit. So, go watch that. Watch UFC tonight, see how our picks do there. Should be a fun night. And that's it. That's all I got.
Good.
Brandon, you got anything?
I don't really have anything. Just, watch. I'm going to go and watch.
You sure you don't want to shit your pants one more time?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Again, well, I'm just going to keep on saying that.
The further and further you dig yourself into a lie is just no good.
I don't know what you're talking about. I got nothing. Watch Super Showdown. That's what I'm going to do.
All right. And go Notre Dame. I need you to cover.
Yep, go Irish.
So, thank you, as always, to Wes Anderson for Moments in Time. Thank you to All Wear Clothing, the official merchandise provider of Over the Line Sports Podcast. Thank you to Crandall's Quality Lawn Care, the official lawn mowing service of Over the Line Sports Podcast. And your leaf pickup. Remember, they don't suck, they blow. And Thank you, as always, to Verizon for their business services. Check them out. Check out your local rep. They will help you out with your technology needs.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and comment Over the Line Sports Podcast, and also on Twitter at OTL Sports Pod.
And as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
Undertaker by Tombstone.
Hey, at least I had Bobby the Brand top 5.
Idiot.